The champagne glass trembled in Elena's hand as she watched her sister Iris glide across the restaurant in that emerald dress, the one Elena had shown her just last week. But it wasn't the dress that made Elena's breath catch. It was the man walking beside Iris, his hand resting possessively on the small of her back. Daniel.
Elena.
Her friend Sarah touched her arm. Are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. I've seen a betrayal. 3 months earlier, everything had been different. Elena had met Daniel at a gallery opening, and their connection was instantaneous. They'd spent hours talking about art, life, dreams. He was thoughtful, funny, and when he looked at her, Elena felt truly seen for the first time in years. I want you to meet my sister, Elena had told him after their 5th date, practically glowing with happiness. You're going to love her. Everyone does. And that was the problem. Everyone did love Iris. Iris was 2 years older, more polished, more confident. Where Elena was soft edges and quiet strength, Iris was sharp angles and bold declarations. Growing up, Elena had always been Iris's little sister, living in the shadow of her siblings' accomplishments. But Daniel was supposed to be different. Daniel was hers. The dinner where they all met started well enough. Daniel and Iris were friendly, appropriately cordial. But Elena noticed the way Iris leaned in when Daniel spoke, the way her laugh rang out just a little too loudly at his jokes, the way she touched his arm when making a point. Your sister is great, Daniel said later that night, dropping Elena off at her apartment. But something in his voice had changed, like a key shifted to a minor chord. Over the next few weeks, Iris found reasons to text Elena constantly. How's Daniel? What are you two doing this weekend? Do you think he'd like this restaurant? At first, Elena thought her sister was just being supportive. She'd always been naive about Iris's motives. Then came the party. Elena's friend was celebrating a promotion, and she'd invited Daniel. Elena was running late from work and had told Daniel to go ahead. When she arrived, she found him alone on the balcony with Iris. They weren't touching, but the air between them crackled with something that made Elena's stomach drop. She watched through the glass door as Iris leaned close, whispering something that made Daniel laugh and shake his head. What were you two talking about? Elena asked later, keeping her voice light. Nothing important, Daniel said, not meeting her eyes. Just small talk. But Elena knew her sister, and she knew that look. The unraveling happened slowly, then all at once. Daniel started being less available. Plans were canceled. His texts grew shorter, more distracted. And Iris? Iris was suddenly everywhere Elena wanted Daniel to be. I ran into him at the coffee shop, Iris would say. What a coincidence. He mentioned he was looking for a new gym, so I recommended mine. We're just friends, Elena. Don't be so paranoid. But Elena wasn't paranoid. She was heartbroken. The final blow came on a Tuesday evening. Elena had planned to surprise Daniel at his apartment with his favorite Thai takeout. When she arrived, she found Iris's car parked outside. Her hands went numb. The food containers slipped from her grip, spilling pad thai across the sidewalk. She should have left, should have walked away. But some dark part of her needed to see it, needed proof of the betrayal she'd been denying for weeks. Through the window, she saw them. Iris's arms around Daniel's neck, his hands on her waist, the kiss that shattered what was left of Elena's trust in both of them. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you're watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Now back to the story. Elena didn't confront them that night. Instead, she drove to the beach and sat in her car until dawn, watching the waves crash and retreat, like her own breaking heart. When Daniel finally called 2 days later, Elena answered on the first ring. I don't know how to say this, he started, his voice heavy with manufactured regret. But Iris and something happened between us. I never meant for it to happen. It just did. Things don't just happen, Daniel, Elena said quietly. People make choices. I know. I'm sorry. I really am. But I think Iris and I have something special. Something I can't ignore. Elena wanted to scream, to rage, to tell him exactly what Iris had done. how she'd manipulated situations, inserted herself into every corner of their relationship, played the long game with surgical precision. But what was the point? He'd already made his choice. Does she make you happy? Elena finally asked. Yes, Daniel said without hesitation. She does. Then I hope you'll be very happy together, Elena said, and meant it in the cruelest possible way before hanging up. The wedding invitation arrived 10 months later. Cream cardstock with gold lettering. Iris and Daniel. Elena stared at it for hours, that square of paper that represented the complete dissolution of her family. Because how could she forgive this? How could she sit at Thanksgiving dinners and pretend her sister hadn't stolen the man she loved? She didn't go to the wedding. Instead, she moved to Seattle for a job opportunity and slowly, painfully, rebuilt her life. She made new friends, pursued her photography seriously, learned to trust again. The betrayal became a scar instead of an open wound. 3 years passed. Elena had just returned to visit her parents when she saw them at that restaurant. Seeing Daniel again should have hurt more than it did. Instead, she felt nothing, maybe pity, because even from across the room, she could see the cracks. The way Iris checked her phone constantly, barely looking at Daniel. The way his jaw was tight, his smile forced. They looked like strangers playing the role of a happy couple. Elena was about to leave when Iris spotted her. For a moment, their eyes met, and Elena saw something flicker across her sister's face. Guilt? Fear? Before Elena could decide, Iris looked away, touching Daniel's hand in a gesture that seemed more desperate than affectionate. 2 months later, Elena's mother called. I need to tell you something, her mother said, voice strained. About Iris and Daniel. Elena's heart didn't race this time. She already knew. He cheated, her mother continued, with a woman from his office. Someone younger. They'd been having an affair for months, apparently. Iris just found out. How did she find out? Elena heard herself ask. She came home early from a work trip. Her mother paused. She found them together. In their home. The exact same way Iris and Daniel had betrayed Elena. The symmetry was almost poetic. The other woman, her mother continued. She'd been befriending Iris for months. Coffee dates, gym sessions. Iris thought they were friends. The whole time, this woman was getting close to Daniel. Elena closed her eyes. Karma had a dark sense of humor. Iris wants to talk to you, her mother said softly. She asked me to ask you. She knows she doesn't deserve it. But, no, Elena said firmly. I'm not ready for that. But 3 weeks later, when Iris showed up at Elena's Seattle apartment, eyes red-rimmed and hollow, Elena let her in. They sat in silence for a long time. I know what I did to you, Iris finally said, her voice breaking. I knew it was wrong even while I was doing it. I justified it somehow. Told myself that if he could be swayed, then he wasn't really yours to begin with. That I was doing you a favor. But you weren't, Elena said. You were being selfish. I know. Iris's tears fell freely now. And now I understand how it feels. To watch someone you trust dismantle your life piece by piece. To realize too late that what you built was always on borrowed ground. Elena could have been cruel. Could have thrown every hurt back in Iris's face. But seeing her sister broken like this, Elena realized something. Revenge would never taste as sweet as healing. I can't forgive you yet, Elena said carefully. Maybe I never will completely, but I don't want to carry this hatred anymore. It's too heavy. Iris nodded, accepting what Elena could offer. He wants to work it out. Daniel, he says it was a mistake, that he loves me, that it meant nothing. What did you tell him? That I needed time, that I don't know if I can trust him again. Iris laughed bitterly. Ironic, isn't it? That trust is what I destroyed between us, and now it's what's been destroyed in me. Elena looked at her sister, really looked at her. For years, she'd built Iris up in her mind as some powerful figure, always winning, always taking. But now she saw the truth. Iris was just as broken and flawed as anyone else. Her victory had been hollow. The prize, poisoned. I think you should leave him, Elena said. Not because of what he did, but because you deserve better than a relationship built on betrayal. You both do. Even after everything? Even after everything, Elena confirmed. Because holding on to something rotten will only make you rotten too. 6 months later, Elena heard through her mother that Iris had filed for divorce. Daniel had fought it, claimed he wanted to rebuild, but Iris had been resolute. She'd learned, finally, that some things can't be unbroken. Elena never reached out to gloat. She didn't need to. The years had taught her that karma doesn't work on human timelines. It doesn't deliver justice in the ways we expect. But it does, eventually, bring us face to face with the consequences of our choices. A year after that conversation, Elena ran into Iris at a coffee shop in their hometown. They were cordial, careful. Iris looked different, lighter somehow, despite the visible scars. "I'm in therapy," Iris offered, "trying to figure out why I did what I did. Why I always needed to win, even when winning meant destroying the people I loved." "That's good," Elena said, and meant it. "For what it's worth," Iris said as they parted. "You were always the stronger one. I just hid it better." Elena watched her sister walk away, and for the first time in years, felt something like compassion stir in her chest. Not forgiveness, not quite, but understanding. Betrayal had taught them both hard lessons. Iris learned that stolen happiness never lasts. Elena learned that the deepest pain could forge the strongest character. And Daniel? Elena heard he was dating someone new, someone he'd met at a conference. She wondered if he'd learned anything at all, or if some people were destined to repeat their patterns until life forced them to break. As for Elena, she'd fallen in love again with someone kind, someone steady, someone who chose her first every single time. Sometimes, late at night, she thought about that moment when she saw them kissing through Daniel's window, the moment her world shattered. She used to think that was the worst thing that could have happened to her. Now she knew it was the beginning of her freedom, because the man her sister stole wasn't the man Elena deserved. And the betrayal that nearly destroyed her had instead rebuilt her into someone stronger, wiser, more capable of real love. Karma hadn't been done with any of them. It never is. But Elena had learned the most important lesson. The best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's becoming so completely, authentically yourself that the past can't touch you anymore. And on quiet mornings, when she woke up next to someone who loved her wholly and honestly, Elena understood that karma had actually been kind to her after all. It had just disguised its kindness as heartbreak first. The end of one story had been the beginning of another, better one. And sometimes that's the only justice we ever really need. If the story moved you in any way, please take a second to like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one.